Hey everybody, this is Robert trying to speak again and also trying to update our Descent game. We're beginning round 4. Please bear with me as I try to struggle through this update. Daniel, playing the Widow Tara, is going to start this turn by activating the familiar. He wants the familiar to go 1 space to the northeast and then attack this Barghest which is blocking this passage. We're using the blue and the red against 1 gray for the Barghest. And 2 defense. This is going to cancel each other right here. So let's focus in on this 1 damage and our surge. Surge can do +1 additional damage, so that would total 2 damage to the Barghest, who has a health of 4. So let's mark this Barghest with a couple of points of damage. And then, still with some movement left, the familiar will move back into a defensive position protecting the villager. Daniel's figure, the Widow Tara, is right next to the Barghest and has decided to use his first action for his main character here as an attack against the Barghest as well. Using the ranged weapon here, this scythe, we're going to change out the red die for a yellow and we'll give him a roll. Really don't have to worry about range here. Well, we've got a miss on the defense, so that's good. 2 damage. 2 damage is enough to do 2 more to the Barghest, which kills it. And we have a leftover surge. And according to Daniel's detailed post, he wants to use that surge to recover fatigue. So the Widow Tara kills the Barghest that was there. And with that surge, we can remove 1 of these. Daniel's post was very detailed. It was great. Clearly said that he's going to use his next action for Widow Tara to make an attack on the Shade. The Shade is already wounded, so it's probably going to go down pretty easily. Let's change out the Barghest with the Shade. 1 more change. We have to get the black die instead of the gray. But let's give these a roll. 2 defense and 2 damage, and we have 2 surges. Well, I don't think the attack here is going to penetrate the defense. Let me take another look at the post and see what we want to do. I may have to make a judgment call here for Daniel. Just one of the weaknesses of our long distance. Daniel said he would use his heroic ability to reroll misses like this X. But this attack essentially missed. So why don't we use the heroic ability, which can be used every round, and let's re-roll this die. And it didn't help. Well, that's still going to be a miss. 2 damage soaked by the Wraith or the Shade, and 1 surge ends up remaining. So we're going to go ahead and remove another point of fatigue. But as it stands now, 1 surge remaining will allow us to take 1 of these off. Well, Robert's going to go next. Playing Tomble, he's going to try to rest and search. Tomble is right here participating in the shield wall. And he's going to search this search token. So let's begin to remove this. However, the Overlord is tricky and will play Poison Dart. Play this card when a hero opens a door or searches. The player tests awareness or might, and I'm definitely going to choose might because that's lower for Tumble. If he passes, you draw a card, and if he fails, he suffers 1 damage and 1 fatigue and is poisoned. Okay, Tumble has a might of 1. So he's got to get lucky here. He's got to roll a 1 or less, rolling these 2 dice. If he fails, he's going to be poisoned. Oh my God. Oh, Tumble, you rascal. Well, you beat me, buddy. I was hoping that this would sort of start to wear you out a little bit with your health since your might was not very high. But Tumble's a lucky one. He passed the test. That was my last Overlord card in my hand too. Alright, search token is gone. We're taking the top card. And we've got a power potion worth 50 gold pieces. You can flip this card over to re-roll some or all of your dice after performing an attack. So we'll put this with Tumble. Tumble has the greedy ability, but this potion I think is one of the better ones. So Tumble, you let me know if you want to perform another search and skip that power potion. But otherwise, I think we're going to conclude your turn with your rest action, which will let you recover all of your fatigue. Well, that's going to wrap up this first part of, I think we're round number 4. So I'm looking now for Ashrion and Sindril to post their actions on Facebook under this video if you have any adjustments. Actually, it would just be easier for me, even if you just cut and pasted your previous posts under the post for this video on Facebook. But there's a look at the board. Let me know if you have any questions, and I think this will end part 1.